Trump weighed in on the Green New Deal that was released just last week by Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and dozens of other politicians, both in the House and in the Senate. And I think you'll be able to quickly tell that he definitely read the entire thing.
They introduced the so-called Green New Deal. It sounds like a high school term paper that got a low mark. It would shut down American energy, which I don't think the people in Texas are going to be happy with that. It would shut down a little thing called air travel. How do you take a train to Europe? You know, they want to take away your car, reduce the value of your home, and put millions of Americans out of work, spend $100 trillion, which, by the way, there's no such thing as $100 trillion. You have to spend $100 trillion.
Okay, so that's the latest from him, but he's been talking about this for a couple of days now. Nothing that he says has any relationship with the actual content of the Green New Deal, but he's tweeted, "I think it's very important for the Democrats to press forward with their Green New Deal. It would be great for the so-called carbon footprint." He doesn't think that that actually means anything. He thinks it's like a fake made-up term. "To permanently eliminate all planes, cars, cows, oil, gas, and the military, even if no other country do the same. Brilliant. If you're confused by that, it's because nothing in the proposal for the Green New Deal calls for any of that. AOC has never proposed any of that." Yeah, there's more. He talks about people needing to take a train to California. He has no idea what is actually going on, but he knows that this is going to wreck the US economy in pursuit of stopping a Chinese hoax.
Remember, he loves conspiracy theories, so he might think carbon's a code word for Bigfoot, and that's what's leaving the footprint. And you know,
carbon very blurry when you take photos of it.
He said there, it sounds like a high school term paper that got a low mark. Now, he would know a thing or two about that. I'm gonna call again for Donald Trump to release his transcripts. I believe he was a failing student at Fordham and at Penn. I would be shocked if he got a grade above a C on any class. Remember, even according to his own allies like Lindsey Graham, he's a one-page kind of guy. I don't know if you know this, in college you have to read past a page.
Yeah.
And I think his IQ is so low that it would literally be shocking if he ever got a grade above a C in any context. And so he called for Obama to release his transcripts from Columbia and Harvard because he couldn't believe that a black man could be successful in those colleges. I can't believe an orange man would be this successful, a person this monumentally stupid. So I'm calling for those transcripts to be released. I'm sure any day now. And by the way, if the Democrats are now in charge of oversight, get his transcripts while you're at it. I know the tax returns, etc. But and so you might say, "Oh, come on, Cenk, that's a little petty." First of all, Trump did it to Obama, and he did it for racist reasons. Second of all, no, it goes to show the privilege the unearned privilege that he had. There's no way he had good enough grades at Fordham to transfer to Penn. He transferred there because of Daddy, who also got him out of Vietnam based on a nonsense letter from Trump, from a doctor that we now know was not true, okay? So he's never earned a thing in his life. So please, don't come at me with a paper with low marks on the Green New Deal. Hilarious, from the dumbest man who's ever served in office in American history. Okay, now let's go on to the substance of the Green New Deal. Kind of. He says it will eliminate a little thing called air travel. It might be that he's jealous because he couldn't do it himself. All he could do was shut down Trump's shuttle. Remember, he had an airline. As usual, abject failure, total loser. Couldn't run that business like he couldn't run any business. And he had to shut down that piece of air travel. So I guess he thinks probably it's a good thing and he's jealous that they're gonna do more. Now, in reality, of course, are they shutting down air travel? No, and this goes beyond Trump. This is a lie that the entire Republican Party is telling, which unfortunately a lot of the media is calling even.
Yep.
I can't tell. No, they said in an ideal world, our railway system would be so great we wouldn't need air travel. They didn't say we're gonna shut down air travel and we're not gonna allow people to take planes. They never said that, they never came within a mile of saying that. That is every Republican in the country lying. But the media can't say that, oh, well, I mean, that wouldn't be neutral. That wouldn't be neutral. I mean, I could criticize Trump, but the rest of the Republican Party, I have to bow down and kiss their ass, even though they're proven liars.
Aren't they banning cows though?
Of course they're not banning cows.
They're banning
And almost every Republican in the country is repeating that mythology.
Yeah, the best example is, so first of all, yes, you're 100% right. This morning on the Damage Report, I critiqued a Politico tweet that was just a list of all of the Republican talking points about the Green New Deal. That's all it was. But there was I think it was PolitiFact did a fact check about one of the claims about what was in the Green New Deal, but at the same time, AOC's claim that there were false versions of the Green New Deal floating around. And in this fact check, they repeatedly said AOC is wrong that there are fake versions of the Green New Deal floating around that the Republicans are using to speak out against it. Then they acknowledge in the middle of the article that yes, multiple right-wingers have a fake version where it says something about reusing urine or something like that, a fake version. They say that, and then they go back to, she is wrong and lying about there being fake versions of the Green New Deal floating around. It's like this long on the screen, that's all it is. And they go back and forth with they're just doublethink. It's just natural at this point.
If you are neutral to the truth and lies, that means you are not objective. You are not objective. What you're doing is political correctness to try to make Republicans sound smarter and more honest than they actually are. In reality, they're idiots who think you could ban cows and then spread that mythology, and they lie about it on purpose over and over again, and you aid and abet their lies when you call it even between their clear fabrications and a legitimate policy proposal on the side of the Democrats, Ocasio-Cortez, Ed Markey, etc. Yeah. So please stop lying on behalf of Republicans. It's not too much to ask for.
And I just want to briefly give you AOC's response to these lies put out by Donald Trump. She said, yes, a man who can't even read briefings written in full sentences is providing literary criticism of a House resolution. Quote, reading the intelligence book is not Trump's preferred style of learning, according to a person with knowledge of the situation, as reported by the Washington Post. And by the way, I noted this morning as well. I don't think that it's by chance that he didn't just say it's poorly written. He said it's like a term paper you would do in high school, because they really think that just insulting her age is going to get them out of this. That if you just call her young, then people won't pay any attention to her ideas.
Well, actually, for right-wingers, that is unfortunately true. And you add woman, so a young woman, they're like, a young woman, what would she know? Look, the guy you support might or might not have 3 IQ points. And you have the audacity to talk about other people's intelligence based on artificial traits like age and gender. But that is the Republican Party. They classify people based on who they are, not the merits of their ideas. Which party that believes in the merit of ideas would have picked Donald Trump? So, ladies and gentlemen, I rest my case. On the go? Don't worry, we got you covered. You can still listen to TYT at our new podcast network. Find us on Apple Podcasts, the Google Play Store, or at tyt.com/podcast.